G'day! In today's video I've got my own personal ANBERNIC RG35XX. This one I've left in a drawer for a while and it since hasn't been powering. Don't know if the kids got at it or what happened, but the charging port did have a couple of little corrosive appearance on the pins. If I hook up voltage to it, or hook up a charging cable, this little thing tells me what's going on. I plug this in, it goes to 0.02 amps and cuts out and then just keeps trying. So it's not getting any form of communication. There's no real hard reset button on these, disappointingly, so I can't just go like push a pin to disconnect the battery. So I'll take the SD card out and I'll take these 6 screws out. I'm hoping just simply disconnecting and reconnecting the battery will snap it back into gear, or I may come across a further problem. Or maybe even just something that I can't even really fix at all, but I won't know unless I crack it open, so worthwhile doing that. I'm quite fond of this little device. Definitely hits me in the original Game Boy feels, but overall it is a neat little device and normally has some pretty good battery life considering what it's playing and how portable it is. But right now for me, it's dead. I'm assuming the back comes away from the front. This is another sticker under here, another screw under the sticker. I do feel a little bump in here. I really don't want to have to dig that sticker off unless I have to. Start with a metal pry tool, just put it in and twist, like that. Go. There we go, that's lifting. Great. One battery here. Disconnect that. I've never had this apart. Very simple button functions on here. Direct connecting to the switches here. Much else to look at in here. To make sure I don't lose 1, 2 and 3 on the sides. Zoom in a bit. Charging port itself physically looks okay. The pins are well attached. Definitely a good thing there. Not really seeing any signs of liquid damage or water damage. Plug in some power again without a battery connected. And it's going 0.02, exactly what it was doing before. Sadly, if I look at the top, there's no extra charge light coming on right now. Plug power into it, battery back into it, getting nothing. It is a 3.7 volt battery, so it is a fairly standard style of battery. Might even go have a look in the collection and see if I've got a different one I can possibly connect up. So sadly the batteries that I've got don't look too flash hot. Well, they look okay, but the actual connections on them are no good because they're too big. So I have to modify the connection to be able to connect it up. Which is not what I want to do. But if I do this, it runs at 3.7 volt. So in theory, if it's higher than that, this one's 3.8, it's good. Using that theory there, this is 3.7 volt. So if it's lower than 3.7, it's probably flat. If it's higher than it, it's probably charged. Or at least the higher we go. So for example, if I hook this up, just to see, nearly pierced the battery, that would not have been good. There. But look at that, we got 4 volt. It's a 3.7 volt battery, nominal. Basically that means it is charged and should turn on. Which then brings me back to looking at the console. If the battery has charge, yet the console's not turning on, I would say there is something else going on with this, which is not what I want, especially when it's just sat in a drawer. Hasn't been near liquid, hasn't been near moisture. It's just sat in a drawer for a few weeks, and then no longer powers on. That is a combination that definitely sucks. I'm doubtful I'm going to see anything more, but Let's progress. 1, 2. Oh, that stays as one button. I like that. 3, 4. All these buttons seem to be at the, or screws seem to be at the very bottom. Hold this out. It will let me. Wait, 2 more down here. They're kind of hidden on me. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to see, if really anything. These are the types of depths of devices that I hate, is when they just randomly die from in use. I have to disconnect this one. I suspect that may be the speakers. Make logical sense if it is. So, that out of the way. This up. Come on. Feed that cable through. So it seems. Okay, one speaker. And here we really have a whole lot of not much. Charging point. Wouldn't mind if they used a little bit more solder on there. It does seem to be a bit light. Bit of flux still left over from soldering on the headphone jack. But mostly, visibly, it looks okay. Which, as I said, is not what you want. Plug power into it now without a screen connected. 0.02. What one was power on? Top button, I think? No, the one that says power over here. I'll hold that. Whole lot, nothing going on. Look at my little amp reader just over here in the corner. It's no extra. But sadly, this is the depth of a device that hasn't been used. It really sucks when that happens. Don't know if the pin down there is still dodgy. Turn that off. Suppose I could prove that theory by taking off the Type-C connector and simply running it on power and seeing if it will switch on. Whether or not that's a weird little internal short going on in here. Plausible. Unlikely, but plausible. So, damn. I don't think there's really much further I can do with this. I'll wait for these to go on special and pick another one up for about $40 Australian. That's about all that can be done. I'll get this reassembled. I'll stick it on power. Just leave it there. And pray. That's come up. I don't know if I put it the right way. That will also explain why it's not going through. That back up. Get these screws back into it. I'll just reassemble it now. Sadly, there's not much more that I can really do. Not seeing any damage to any chips down here. I'll go have a quick skim over them again. Oh, they're all pretty normal. If there were signs of liquid damage, I'd be fine with that, because then I know that there's a definite problem. But since there's no signs of it, it's just a lot harder to diagnose. No real corrosion on any chips. On the plus, well, not on the plus side, but one slightly less negative is I can just take the SD card out and put it into another one and continue where I was. So at least that's a positive. Just. But damn. There. Yep, that's all connected. Actually, I've put in screws where those screws didn't even exist. There's two there. So it wasn't quite these ones down here, maybe. I'll leave that one there. Take this one up here. Go. Buttons work. Screen is fine. Put these back in up here. Plus going up. Minus going down. Ah. Or was there more screws hidden in here? Not that I'm seeing. We do also have the test probes. Minus positive. Four volt. I don't know if there's test points there, but then there's also just the connector to that right there, which makes them kind of redundant. That's in the right spot. Just hold power. I'm very doubtful it's a faulty power switch, being the charge light doesn't come on when power's plugged into it. If it was a faulty power button, if we plugged in power, the LED would light up. We're not even getting to there. Damn. Ah well. So yeah, basically you'd fold that back over, push it down, click it in, put these hex screws back in. I'm using a hex H15. That undid them quite easily. You may be able to get away with something like a T4, but I don't think so. But yeah, I'm going to leave that for now and get myself a replacement. Bugger. Bye.